Today, we got an eviction. We're gonna have a little fireside chat while we're drilling out the locks. Not every real estate deal goes to plan. While it's good to show all the wins, it's important to show the things that can go wrong. Unfortunately, today is eviction day. I hate that. Obviously, I love working with sellers. I want to serve them to the highest level, but sometimes things happen. This was one of the most difficult sellers I have ever worked with. She wouldn't communicate, habitual liar, and unfortunately, we had to go down the path of the eviction. So in this video, we're actually drilling out the locks right now. Police officers are gonna go and check and see if they have in fact moved out. If you want to go ahead and type the word eviction in the comments, I'm going to do another video to where I tell you the entire story, kind of a breakdown financially of what happened, show you the HUDs, all those type of things. So go ahead and drop that down in the comments if you're interested. And we're gonna go take a look at the house here in a few minutes and see the results. Hopefully it's not too bad. Kind of the process of an eviction can take a long time. This one's actually been going on for give or take 18 or 19 months. This homeowner bought this house out of foreclosure, was what we call an expert tenant. They knew every law, every loophole, everything to extend time and get more grace period from the courts. Finally got this scheduled, or went ahead and won the judgment with the court. They scheduled the officers to come out here today. Now we're in the process of drilling out the locks, going inside and seeing, is someone even living there? Are they completely gone? I don't know. I really hope for their sake that they've already left. They did have small children, and although I at some point need to get the house back, I don't want a situation where there's kids and they don't have a place to stay, so I hope they've moved on. But kind of the story behind this house. This seller was brought to me through a wholesaler that I've taught about foreclosures. He had gotten the contract subject to. He assigned that to me. This seller had, I want to say it was about a 60-day post-possession in the house. So I went ahead and purchased it, stopped the foreclosure sale. They were going to stay in the house. Everything was going really well. In this house, we bought it for $190. We were going to give them the 2-month post-possession. The house really didn't need much work. As you can tell, it's in pretty decent shape. I hope the inside's in good shape now, but we were gonna relist the house for $250, maybe make 30 or 40 at the end of the day. But at the end of their post-possession time, she reached out. She said, hey, my husband actually has cancer now. He's terminal. He's going through hospice. Would it be okay if we stayed in the house for a little while longer? So being that I care about my clients, I said, sure, we're gonna have to put in a lease. That way you can pay for this time, but I'm happy to do that. So we put a lease in place, they signed, they did all that. 60 or 90 days go by. They're kind of stringing this along. They say, yeah, he finally passed away. So we're gonna move out in about a week. Well, then the day of the move out comes and they say, hey, oddly enough, my mother-in-law actually gifted me and the kids some tickets down to Disney. So would it be okay if we had another week? We're just gonna go down there to Disney, try to get away from this pain of losing my husband. I said, sure, completely fine. So we get back from Disney. She says, wow, something amazing happened. His life insurance actually came through. I'm gonna get a lot of money from that. I'd actually like to buy the house in cash. Great. Of course, I'm ignoring red flags at this point. And I'm just assuming people tell the truth because that's what I try to do as a person. But anyway, we put this house under contract cash. A couple weeks later, we get to closing, and weeks draw out to months, and this cash does not come. And finally, we realize as a company that she's scamming us. There's no way that this is working out. So we threaten her, hey, look, we don't want to have to do this, but we're going to have to file an eviction. As much as we want to serve you and your family, I'm not a charity. I've got to keep this process going. So we file an eviction. She is very difficult to serve, her eviction papers, okay? She's dodging those for weeks. Well, finally, we have the process server knock on the door, and lo and behold, a man answers the door. The man happens to be the husband that supposedly passed away. So all of a sudden my humanity for this person is kind of evaporated, right? And we go through the court process. Well, as I told you, she's an expert tenant. She figured out how to, hire an attorney and lengthen out this process and get continuances and keep it going for months. Finally, we got the court date scheduled where they weren't going to be able to postpone. We ended up winning the judgment. They said, yes, we're going to go ahead and evict. And today's the day, 30 days later, that we finally get to the eviction. So guys, this is something in real estate that you have to be aware of. If you're doing subject to deals or sort of low equity situations, you've got to assume that things like this can happen. This is 18 months of holding costs for this property, 18 months of insurance, 18 months of all this different stuff. Ended up being about $30,000 or $40,000 worth of holding costs. You remember earlier in this video, I said that we were hoping to make $30,000 or $40,000 on the house. Well, all of that profit is gone, and we've dealt with this. Now, fortunately, we bought it at a discount, but this is why when you're buying sub 2 or buying a house that's kind of high risk with someone in the house, you've got to assume the worst. This is kind of the worst. But if you're in a situation to where you aren't accounting for that and you don't have some reserves, you might even have to sell this house at a giant loss and you may not have money for that. So you've got to have contingencies. If you're nervous about that, you don't have a high risk tolerance, you need to assign that to someone else. So in another part of this story, I will break out the HUDs and show you kind of the documentation that we did in fact buy this house, when we bought it, how much it's cost us to hold this thing, how much we're probably going to lose on this house. But hopefully shortly we'll be able to get in there and take a look and see what the damage is. So the police just left. It was interesting. Our normal lock guy tried to drill out the locks. The people had actually put some reinforced deadbolts and locks in. Police said that they'd never seen anything like it. So we had to call in a locksmith, come back in a couple hours. They have gone ahead and drilled out the locks, even though they had some trouble themselves. And interestingly enough, I learned something from the police that I didn't know. When we went around this house, based on them not answering and all the windows being drawn, I assumed that the house would be vacant. And it actually was. But the police said never ever in an eviction situation assume that a house is vacant. They said upwards of 50% of the time that the homeowners are hiding in a closet or in an attic or something in the hopes that they're not found. And then the people will leave and then they can lock back up and stay in the house. So that was something new to me, but they have swept this. It supposedly is clear. So we're gonna go take a look at it. I haven't seen the house before and hopefully they didn't tear it up. But the outside's in decent condition. They even mowed for us, which is amazing. But we're gonna see on the inside and hopefully it's not terrible. So normally when I look into these houses, when I buy them, oftentimes when someone has moved out, there's like just stuff thrown about everywhere. We obviously haven't seen much yet, but it kind of looks relatively normal. Yeah, you can even see it in the kitchen. It's just like, hey, someone just like washed some cups over here. I don't know. In the living room, it's kind of weird. It almost is just like I've felt this a few times before in probate houses. People would pass away, right? And it's like they just died on the spot, like a heart attack or something like that. And then their family would go through the process. Then the family would say, hey, go take a look at the house so we can get an offer. Then you walk through the house and it's like someone just kind of left and stopped living there. They didn't take anything with them. And this kind of looks like one of those scenarios to where it's like, did they even know they were getting evicted today? Did they leave in the morning and go to work and daycare or whatever else? Because I know she has kids, and just leave and assume they were coming back that night. Because I mean, look at this, Austin. I mean, everything's here. Like it's normal. And we got valuable things here, like all these pieces of furniture, big screen TVs. Check out this room. Got the AC on. I mean, they've got computers, all these tools. Check this out. We got sports cards. Like, I just don't understand the thought process on why you wouldn't take some of this stuff. Like, I'm not a sports card guy, but I assume if he's got these like protectors around here, there's Bobby Witt. I assume that these might be worth something. And now that I'm thinking about it, I know real estate law in Kansas, where I'm at, fairly well. And when tenants leave stuff behind, there's something called abandonment laws. You would think, oh, well, I filed the eviction and I got access to the house after a long, long time. I should be able to just do whatever I want with their stuff. Well, that's not the case. There's even some more sports cards up there. But what you actually have to do, and it's really inconvenient and makes no sense as the person in real estate, but I have to file what's called an abandonment claim with the court that says, hey, starting today, there's a 30-day clock on how long the tenant has to come and get and collect their stuff. Until then, I either have to leave this stuff in the house and just wait 30 days, or I have to put it in a storage unit at my own dime, pay people to move it out. And then if you get rid of their stuff and you sell their stuff before the 30 days, the tenant can actually come and sue you for damages. So I'm kind of like in real time thinking, well, maybe they left this stuff on purpose to see if I would do something with it and they could sue me. I don't know. But this is weird. It just looks like someone just left all their stuff and didn't even attempt to move out at all. So let's check out the rest of the house here. So far, it seems like no one's done anything to move. We even got like happy birthday drawings and stuff. It's like the type of stuff that's at my house from my kids. Yeah, bathroom. We even got some bedrooms. What makes me sad is I know this person has some kids. We even got their crib. We got, like, it's all the kids' clothes here and stuff. Well, I do see that the kids' beds are stripped in terms of the blankets and stuff, so maybe they took the bare minimum, and I don't see any clothes, so they probably did take a little bit. But it's just sad. It's like, where's the kids sleeping tonight? And that's the thing that hurts as an investor. It's like you really try to serve these people. They don't fulfill their end of the agreement. You keep trying to serve them, and then it gets to the point where you have to file the eviction. But my humanity still comes out, because it's like I see 3 cribs here, and it's like there are small children, and it's like, dang, where are they at? I hope they're all right. But you know, this woman had 13, 14 months to get this figured out. So it's even weirder that this person can't pay their bills. They can't move out on time when they're evicted, but they could sure make their bed. I don't know. It's just odd.
Do you do that?
No, I don't make my bed. I don't make my bed. So apparently making your bed first is one of those self-help things that you've won the day somehow. I don't know if that's actually true based on this. So anyway, next steps. I was hoping that we could just clean this thing out and throw it on the market or start a flip or whatever we decided to do. But they've left all their stuff. And I think they're trying to trap me into something, which is, I don't know, that might sound paranoid, but if you have dealt with this person like I have, they know the law. They understand. So we're going to have to wait 30 days for that time to elapse. Then we can do something with the stuff. Until then, we're just going to have to hold tight and be grateful that they didn't really tear up the place. We could easily just throw some paint and a few odds and ends, and this place will be ready to go. It's really pretty nice. If you guys want to see, like back here, this backs to a big lake and a walking trail and stuff. So It's sad that the kids had to move out because it's really probably a cool place to grow up. But like I said at the very beginning of this video, if you would like to hear kind of a more in-depth breakdown of this house, how much we bought it for, what our holding costs were, kind of some more of the nitty-gritty details about this situation that I'm really not going to share online, go ahead and type in eviction in the comments, and I will make sure to send you over a link to where you can check that out, learn more about the deal, and learn a little bit more about how to protect yourself. So as much as I didn't want to have to do this type of video, it happens. And hopefully you guys have learned something. I've actually gotten the good side of things this time. This went really, really well. Other ones that I've had looked horrible. But hopefully you learned something. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.